bring the youth from the 18 local government drawn from some of these schools, secondary school, these are not primary, but secondary school level, to engage, and the awareness is there. And there are other development partners as well that organize this kind of training for our youth. So we have development partners doing theirs, and then the state also organizing some of this. And we also have an agency, Ondo State Entrepreneurship Agency, doing a lot of work in training our youths, even young graduates, on entrepreneurship in different sectors of the economy. I will give them startup capital to be able to start their own business. And in the MSME clinic that is being organized at the federal level, there is no year on those states will not get about 3 awards among the best. So we are preparing to be able to.
Exactly are you doing to ramp up agri production? It's food insecurity.
We have not done really much in the area of tourism, I must confess, but we have the mind. We are going to, this is the second year now, we have the mind of turning around, to the world. The same thing with Idori Hill. I think during the regime of His Excellency Dr. Segun Mimiko, Idori Hill Marriage Festival was a big event. But after that, nothing has been done. And that is an iconic tourist center, Idori Hill. We are also trying to do something about that. The first thing I'm doing currently is to dualize a road from Okaro to Idori, first phase. And then also the inherited project, that is Joka Road. Viewers, that the Joka Road will be completed very soon. The asphalt lane is ongoing, and it leads from Akure also to Idori. So creating different access to Idori because of Idori Hill. And we also awarded internal road that will lead to that hill, a 5 kilometer, part of the 5 kilometer per local government that we have awarded, so that the road to Idori from Akure will be smooth and will be easier for people to move in the area. All of that will have been put in place so that people can access the place with ease and have fun. Even as it is right now, record from the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism was saying that the number of people visiting Idori Hill in a day is over 1,000, even as it is right now. For you to know that by the time the place is put in the kind of state, to be more attractive and more convenient for people to have fun, the traffic will be huge. People will come from different locations to want to visit Idori Hill. So that is what we are doing right now. But in terms of major projects in that place, nothing much apart from showcasing and building infrastructure that will help, so that by the time we'll be having this kind of time, maybe, I don't know, let me say by the time I'll be doing my second year, concluding the second year in office, to tell also the world what we have been able to do. It will be a different story concerning tourism in Ondo State. That is what I would say for now.
Yes, agric.
Agric, yes. Ondo State is a leading cocoa producing state in Nigeria. About 40% of the total cocoa production in Nigeria is from Ondo State. We are still maintaining that lead because the other states, are also farmers in that area, so that we can continue to maintain the lead. Of recent, we gave lands to our farmers. Even though the land belonged to government, they encroached into it. We went to court. We won the case, got the land, but have to leave it for them. But for them to know that the land belongs to the state government, but you can have it as your cocoa farm. So we are supporting our cocoa farmers. Apart from cocoa, palm plantation is being supported. We call it the red gold, because we believe that aspect, that kind of crop is very, very important for us in the state and also in Nigeria. because of the benefits of that. But what we are doing is to provide enabling environment for individual investors to invest in agric in Ondo State. It's not as if the government is actually going into it by itself. We have stake, we provide the land, we provide the security enabling environment, and the government has certain percentage from that. We have just declassified about 100,000 hectares from our reserve, forest reserve, for agroforestry. And out of that 100,000 hectares, in the area where we used to have the so-called bandits, where the criminals normally hide in the forest, we have declassified that now for agribusiness. And 30,000 of that 100,000 hectares have been allocated to Okitupa oil palm for their expansion to plant more trees. And if there were bandits there before, they have run away. So that is turning the forest into a business area. But agroforestry, because of climate change, where you just have to keep green and all of that, but it's agroforestry because they are planting agricultural economic trees that will be sustain the environment and also support the economy one way or the other. So we are doing a lot, and with other different
writing opinion pieces in the last 1 week or so about a place called Eba Island. He's been quoting maps, quoting colonial records, archives, and all of that, all with an intent to say that that Eba Island belongs to Ondo State, Ondo State, and not Ogun State. He's saying it's not Ogun State, but in the spirit of brotherhood and friendship, two can share. I mean, what efforts, is the administration making to sit down at the table with Ogun State and resolve this matter amicably? And beyond that, the federal government also has an interest in it, being an island and all of that, and mineral resources. As the state reached out to the Boundary Commission and the federal government to see how this matter can be amicably resolved, because those of us from Ogun State, whichever way it is resolved, the two can share. Instead of Ondo State taking everything away, it can be amicably resolved.
Also dragging.
Well, let me thank you so much, Ben Abati. In terms of IGR, let me talk about that before I go into oil politics. In terms of IGR, we are improving. Is growing steadily and gradually, but it's only when you create more businesses or when more businesses are operating in your domain, that is when you can also have an increase in IGR. And that is what we are doing to make Ondo State very, very convenient and safe for business people to come investors, so that we'll be able to. Before now, I think it's about 3 billion a month, but now we're moving to about 5, thereabout, an upward movement since that. But the most important thing is that the IGR is growing, and we are trying to ensure that businesses are created, providing that enabling environment. By the time we have deep sea port groundbreaking, people will be positioning themselves into those states. And also the coastal highway from Lagos to Calabar is passing through Ondo State, and it's joining Ondo State at that corridor, the coastal, the where we have the longest coastline. That is what is joining, and at that time, by the time that road is completed, from Ondo State, that is the Ilaje local government, which is my local government, to Ondo State, we just about 35. To Lagos will be 35 minutes drive. It's so close. So, and you can see people moving down this way, working in Lagos, or whichever way. And more business will be coming to this area, because Lagos is already, fully occupied in terms of landed area. So people are looking for other places. And since you can drive on 4 lanes on each side, come on, in 35 minutes. You live in some part of Lagos, you won't get to your place of work for 2 hours. So people can decide to move this area. So, and when that's happened, landed property, the price will increase, and housing and all that. So it has, a lot of benefits we accrue to Ondo State through that project. Now, talking about oil well, EBA, and all of that, the first thing we need to know is that every oil assets, well and all that, belongs to the federal government, exclusive list. But it must be defined that it's located in a particular state and a particular community. Host community and then oil producing state, where we get the elevation, and the host community get their own share as a host community. Now, the whole write-up and speakings and discussions is to be able to establish location, not who owns the asset. It's clear the asset is owned by the federal government, but the location must be defined. And we need to provide information to the public and to also the Boundary Commission so that they can verify some of these documents and statements before they take certain decision of location. So that is the whole essence. It's not a roundtable discussion between myself and Prince Dapo Abiodun. We have talked about it. Sometimes he will say jokingly the way you are saying it now, that it's located in a place. And from all you have read, you will find out that that place belongs to Ondo State. There's no two ways about it. So if Ogun has oil exploration company, they can drill in any part of the country. So if they are drilling in Ondo State, let them be drilling, but we know that it's on Ondo State and it will be, recorded in Ondo State. We have Chevron having some platform in Ondo State. Opakaba is in Ondo State. Sahara Energy is there. Beta Oil is what an arm of Odua Investment is drilling. Corn Oil is drilling at Bella Well in Ondo State. It doesn't matter where you are drilling from, but let us know the location, the state, and the host community. And that's what we're trying to tell the whole world, that this place belongs to Ondo State, not Ogun State. Ogun State has oil license, drilling license, one of their company. It doesn't matter. They can drill from EBA. It doesn't matter. We won't chase them away, because if government give them that location, that the well we are giving to you is in EBA Island, that's where you should drill. They should go there to drill. The security agencies, the Navy, they will protect the oil assets. So if they draft Navy to that place, we are not at war, we are not in conflict. All we are saying is this place belongs to Ondo State. Simple, nothing more.
Well, I know that everything. So hoping that what we've seen happen over time won't happen this time. Everything. So hoping that what we've seen happen over time won't happen this time.
Okay, well, thank you so much. For me, as governor of Ondo State at this time, there is no project that was started by my predecessor that will be abandoned. I will complete every one of them. Let me just quickly say that. And when you talk of legacy, I am the greatest legacy, and he was my friend, very close friend. And he was my friend, very close friend. So there's, in the Aketi team, as the deputy, I'm the next to him. I will have other people. But like I said earlier on at the opening, that interest, so different interests. So, in terms of legacy, Aketi legacy lives on, and I am the #1 legacy of Aketi. Because the first time in Ondo State that even though he did not physically present when I became governor in 2023 December, he openly endorsed me, and he also wanted to succeed him. So I can say Aketi is the first government motorist that have a successor of his own, because the statements are there, the records are there. And that's to tell you that when a governor, is able to, install a successor, definitely he will carry on with the projects or the all that has been planned alongside. And don't forget, I was also his deputy, so I knew a lot of the things that were being done at the time. So, in terms of that, that is its own. Some of the projects he envisioned that he was unable to start, I started them. For example, the judiciary village that was named after him on the day we laid the foundation. The judiciary complex. So, and that is one legacy. That is one thing that's so paramount to him. Legacy. That is one thing that's so paramount to him. It was it was a burden for him as a senior advocate to be able to build, judiciary complex for the state, which I am building. Now, issue of the rivalry quarrel between deputy and is a living witness. That is the governor of Kwara. They are two different individuals. Politics.
Jesus speaking as well.
If she called me, I will pick her call. But she doesn't want to talk to me, so that's it. Let's leave it that way. So it's a choice. You understand? It's a choice.
Okay.
Now let's stay with my own deputy.